Welcome to episode 8. Oh man, how is everybody's day going? I hope it's going phenomenal. My day is going pretty good myself. I had a lot of freaking coffee this morning, that's for sure. I am like super alert. I'm on it. I'm fucking ready. So I'm going to try really, really hard to not make this video like super long. So what I'm going to talk about today, is development. The development of not just yourself, but others. So this is really, really exciting because, and it might end up being a 20-minute video because I really, I obsess over this. I obsess over this so much. Okay, so like you guys have already heard multiple times, I am not the best at sales. I'm not. I follow a system. I don't have like all these like tricks up my sleeve or anything like that. Like I don't know. So what I do know though is this. Like where I fail when it comes to sales and stuff, I excel in the development process. I get off on developing people. I love it so much, dude. There's nothing in this world that's greater than taking somebody who's interested in learning and trying to develop a new skill and giving them the opportunities and the tools to be able to help them develop that skill, and then seeing them blossom and grow, and you're just like, oh my gosh, it's like, dude, you're a little baby bird leaving the nest, and I'm like your dad that's been just regurgitating all of this information down your throat and in your brain for so long, and now look at you go flying to go make your own nest. It's exciting. I love it. It's so cool. I know I've touched on it before as well. I told you guys, like, hey, you know what? Before you try to sell anything, or before you want to try to impact someone's life, work on yourself. It's very true. I would highly suggest taking this advice. This is not advice from me personally. This is advice that I've heard from mentors. This is advice that I've read in books. This is advice that, people actually preach about, and I think it's absolutely true. You have to get your shit together first before you try to impact anybody else. So if you want to develop somebody, you better be developed yourself. You better make sure that you're doing and implementing and doing all the things that you're telling other people to do. I will never, ever tell somebody to do something that I will never do myself. I will never do that. Here's the thing. I do push my people. I push the fuck out of them. I make them bend over backwards for me. But I'm not literally physically doing it. Like I'm not telling them like, bitch, you better do this. What I do is I show them. If I'm asking my guys to bend over backwards, guess what? I'm going to get down on the ground and I'm going to show them myself. I'm going to show them how to do it so that they don't hurt themselves. I want them to learn how to get to that position the easy way. I don't want them to make the same mistakes I've made. I want to be able to help them out. I care about them so much. Yeah, I get phone calls all the time just like, hey Xander, like what do I do? How do I develop a team? How do I do this? How do I do that? The answer is to just stop asking questions. Stop! The thing that you do with your mouth, stop! You got 2 ears, use them. Like, I listen to my guys more than I say anything. When it's time for me to say something, I say a lot. And obviously you guys know I'm very chatty. So I can talk for long periods of time. If they ask me a question, I can talk about it. But I listen. I listen to everything. I listen to personal stories. I listen to their emotions. I listen to how they think. I watch them. I study them. I evaluate everything my guys do. Everything. I'm obsessed with it. They are the most important people in my life. I obsess with them. I make sure that I know everything about them. I make sure that I can read their body language. I make sure that I am in their head. I make sure that I know what they're thinking before they even open up their mouth. That's how you develop people. You can't just like just because you have a freaking a sign on your desk that says, freaking account manager or marketing manager, or I'm a general manager. That word manager pisses me off. It does. Like, my name title that I use for my company, I'm a business owner, right? I don't like to use a fucking office manager, a branch manager. I just call myself a director. That's what I do. I fucking direct. I'm just like, oh yeah, dude, you gotta do, I delegate, right? I don't like to take the word manager. People use that. They cynically, the cynicism in it, they use it, and they're just like, hey, I'm a manager, so you gotta do this. The fact of the matter is, if you want full production, if you want your guys to be working at 150%, you can't be a manager. You can't just be like barking orders. You gotta show them. People don't care about how much you know until they know about how much you care. I think John Maxwell is the person that said that. And I truly believe that. Dude, like, I can get my guys to do anything for me. They will go to hell and back for me. They will. They uprooted their lives to come from California all the way out here to Oregon. Now, people like that, people just don't do shit like that. It's about the development process. If you're developing your guys the correct way, they're going to start thinking like you. They're going to start talking like you. They're going to start even gesturing like you. They're going to start being little mini yous. So be careful with how you're developing them. You want to make sure it's right. I talk about my vision more than I talk about anything else that I love in this world. Anything else. I talk about my vision so much, about my goals so much. They know exactly where I'm heading. They know exactly what the goal is. They know what I'm planning in the next 30 days, 90 days, 60 days, 10 days, 1 day, 3 hours. They fucking know, because I share my vision to the point where they have the same vision. It becomes easier. Development is so vital, man. It's so vital. And for those of you guys that are in the line of work of marketing or sales or anything like that, because I know a few of you guys, like on my Facebook and stuff, that when I post this stuff, you're watching and everything like that. Like, if I understand that sales are important, we need sales in order to be able to have a productive office, right? Production is everything. We need it for money. We need money to survive and stuff like that. But the way I look at it is this: like, I can't just I can't stop my development process on somebody just because they had a bad week, or they didn't have the best couple of weeks, or maybe they're just it's taking them a while to pick up on the sales like, dude, like me coming from a background of not having to do sales, right? It was hard. It was difficult for me to get into it. It was really hard for me to actually get transitioned into this. So I understand. But if somebody out there like me was thinking about a vision that my mentor had, and I was like, damn, that's a really good vision, I want to be a part of that. I want that vision. So I started developing my own vision. If you have people like that are bought into your vision, if you've developed them the right way, if you've been leading them the right way, if you've been directing every single moment, and they are willing to buy into your vision, then why would you make everything about sales? Why? This isn't Wall Street. I mean, unless you're doing stuff like that, then awesome, great. Sell, right? But if it's not, if it's about an opportunity, if it's about something, anything, right? Just finding the right people, then fucking just work on development. Just work on the development process. Now, that takes time. It does. I used to be in a position to where the person that I used to be, like, I used to I hated myself, okay? I will be honest. I hated myself. I hated who I was. I hated the way I looked. I hated the way I talked. I hated the way I dressed. I hated everything about myself. So thus forth, I didn't give a fuck about people. I disliked people. I won't say that I hated people, because I still had empathy towards people that had rough lives, and but I didn't like being around people. I disliked people. Obviously, that's not going to work for anybody, really, anybody, not just in the line of work of customer relations, but like just in general. That's so sad. That's so sad. Like, I look back at my past, and dude, that's so sad. I was so miserable. No, but I don't wish that upon anybody. I was so lonely, and I was surrounded by friends. It sucked. It changed the way I was thinking. It changed the way I saw people. It took me a while to build up confidence within myself. It took me a while to be able to look in the mirror and say, Xander, I fucking love you, dog. It did. And it felt weird at first. I felt like I didn't deserve to love myself. I felt like I wasn't supposed to love myself. But now, dude, I love who I am. I love the person that I've grown into. Like, I love it. I love people. I love it so much. And I'm not going to tell you the story just because I want to seem like some golden guy or whatever. I don't know. So like, when I can remember when I was in a situation to where, money was just everything, to me. Money was what it was. Why? Because I used to have a fuck ton of money, and then I lost everything, and then money was just scarce after that. So I would, pennies and dollars and everything was just like, awesome. I took recycling in. Right? And just recycling. It was about like 6 bags of recycling. And I didn't know how much money I was going to get back. In California, 6 bags, you get back like, a pocket full of lint and like maybe a couple plastic bottle caps, right? I'm just kidding. No, but like, I wasn't expecting much back, but I was going to be like, oh, you know what? Whatever money I do get back, I'm going to throw my guys a pizza party. We'll have like a pizza party and maybe have like a movie night or something like that. Maybe we could play Mario Kart or I don't know, something. I was just going to plan something fun with my guys, with my office. We've been working really hard and stuff. And I was like, hey, whatever. It would be fun. I think that it would be a really good change of pace. Well, believe it or not, I ended up getting back like $32. It was like 32 or 33 bucks, right? Which I was kind of surprised about. Well, after I got the money and everything, I was about to leave, and there was this mother there, and she looked beat to shit, dude. Like, her hair was all messed up, her makeup was smudged. She looked really bad. Like, I'm not gonna lie, she didn't look like she was having the best day, right? And she was pushing a stroller. Like one of those double carriage strollers, so she had twins in there, and they were just covered full of, like, it was just like, they looked dirty, really, they looked dirty. Well, she had like her bag, just one bag of recyclables, and I kind of just went up to her and I was just like, hey, is that all your recycling? She was just like, oh, yeah, no. She's like, this is all I had at home and stuff. She's like, right now it's just really, really tight and anything helps. And I was just like, oh, I was like, are you not working? She's like, no, I work like 3 jobs. She's like, anything helps me right now. My husband just left us. He just literally just up and left, and I've been stuck with all the bills and everything like that. And I was just like, oh, I was like, are you guys homeless? I wanted to ask because the children, they looked dirty. And she was just like, what? And I was just like, oh, just kind of, I saw the dirt on, I didn't know. And she was like, no. She's like, we just got back from Wendy's. I got him a chocolate frosting, and it made sense, So I was just like, I was like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. I was just checking. I was like, you know what? I want to help you and your family out. I'm sorry that happened with you and your husband, but here you go. This is everything that I got from my recyclables. And she just took it. She was like, well, thank you. And then she looked down and counted, and she's like, oh, no, it's okay. And I was like, dude, no, I want you to have that more than I don't need it. Like, I don't need it, dude. And it made me sad. It really hurt my heart that she was that excited over 30 bucks. It hurt my heart. Flashback 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I would have never done that. And I'm not saying that that's a good thing. That's a pretty bad thing. So the point to all of this, what you should take away from everything here is just making sure, pay attention to the words and the things that people are telling you, okay? If they're telling you that they like something, then focus on that. Everybody has strengths. Everybody has weaknesses. Instead of micromanaging all of the weaknesses, play on the strengths. Okay? I'm not good at sales, but let's say I have somebody who's amazing at sales. Awesome, man. That's great. That means that you must have amazing communication skills. You have great negotiation skills. That's awesome. So I play up those parts. I stroke their egos to let them know that you're amazing in this area. Just picking up all the pieces until there's a full balance. A lot of people don't like to develop other people because it takes time. It's not something that just happens overnight. It's not something that just happens in 1 week. It's not something that just happens in a month. It's not something that just happens in a year. Development is a daily process. Development is literally a never-ending project. And people realize that, and they don't like that. It's too much work. They want to focus on other things, like making more money. If you think about it, and you develop other people, and you develop them well, put them in a position to be able to make money, it could help you out in the long run. It could help you out. Just having that on your track record, that could be lucrative. Stop thinking so short term. Think about everything. Every single person that joins my team, every single person that I develop, I'm not thinking about just short term, about the here and now, about like, okay, yeah, you can make me some money here. I'm thinking about 7 years from now. I'm thinking that about, like, let's say that I put them in a situation to be able to help them, their lives, to help change their lives. And for whatever reason, 7 years from now, they decide not to, take that opportunity, or they retire, or who knows what can happen 7 years from now. But because of the story, because of course I'm going to talk about these people, because of the story of me helping somebody out, me helping them build their business, me helping them achieve their goals, 7 years from now, that might get me a partnership with another huge client. That might be the cause of me hiring an amazing person to my company to help me change things, to help me turn it around, to help me to amplify it, to help it become worldwide. I'm always thinking of the long run. Always. I'm obsessive when it comes to development because I'm obsessive with my goals and I'm obsessive with my business. You gotta be obsessed. You can't just show up and expect to just work towards your goals like you're working a 9 to 5. You don't just clock in and clock out on your goals. It doesn't happen that way. You have to make sure that every moment, every part of the day, everything that you do, every decision that you make is moving you closer and closer to your goals. It should be an ongoing process. You should be obsessed. It shouldn't be just something that you're striving towards. It shouldn't just be what do you call those things? A dream board. I think it's called the dream board. It shouldn't just be a dream board sitting on your wall. I mean, that's great if you do things like that. I'm all for, artsy fartsy kind of stuff like that, crafts and all this crap. But dude, it shouldn't just be a dream board. It shouldn't just be something that you're looking at every day. Dude, this should be something that's flowing through your veins, just stuck inside your brain like a tumor. You should be obsessed. Be obsessed. Think about everything. Think about it all. Everything that's going to be able to help you get to that next level. Every decision you make, everything you do is putting you one step closer to being where you want to be. And every decision that you make and everything that you do can also be 3 or 4 steps away from where you want to be. Personal development is number 1. That is the most key ingredient to being able to properly develop other people. Number 2, second thing, and The only other thing is understanding that developing people is a never-ending process. You don't stop. It never stops. You're going to always be developing people, because if you're doing things the right way, you yourself should always be developing yourself along the way too. You yourself should always be developing too, right? It's an evolutionary process. The Xander I was 12 days ago is not the Xander I am today. The Xander I will be 6 months from now will not be the Xander I am today. I will always be changing. I will always be trying to be better. I will always be trying to improve something in order to get me closer and closer and closer and closer to my goals. In retrospect, with me consistently trying to work on my personal development, my guys will always need to be developed as well. Always. If I take one step, they're going to have to take a step. If I take one step, they're going to have to take a step. It doesn't matter. Even if they get further than me, I hope that they do. I get excited when people do better than me. I do. I love it. It's competition. But most importantly, it makes me proud. It makes me happy. Oh my God, it's the best feeling ever. It's better than love. It's amazing. It's a non-stop, never-ending process. You should always be developing yourself, and you should always be developing your guys. That's all I got for you guys. I hope you liked it. If you did, hit that like button, hit that share button, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thanks again for watching, and make sure, please, 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 work on yourself to chase your own dreams. Have a good day, guys.